2000, the airlift. In 2000, the rally crossed Africa from west to the east for the first time, from Dakar to Cairo, and it will be remembered for its logistic exploits. As Hubert Auriol announced to everyone on the evening of Stage 6 in Niamey. This unexpected turn of events had been forced on the organisers by the risk of terrorist attacks throughout Niger. So, in the interest of safety, a simply massive airlift was planned.
Demain 12 janvier et devrait s'achever le dimanche 16 janvier. TSO souhaite faire reprendre la compétition le lundi 17.
The journalists were busy on the telephones while the organisers thought it all over. For once, it wouldn't be the competitors who wrote this chapter in Dakar history. The organisers had to solve an incredibly difficult logistic equation. The solution had a name, the Antonov 124, the largest aircraft in the world.
Il y a trop de monde autour de l'avion, il va y en avoir beaucoup des avions, vous allez en voir autant que vous voulez. Alors s'il vous plaît, tout le monde recule et tout le monde s'écarte.
The three Antonov 124s that came from Cairo and Kiev allowed for the transportation of the 500 Dakar vehicles, helicopters and trucks. In the cargo bays, they could carry 120 metric tons. All that remained was to distribute the load safely. For 5 days, an extraordinary routine took place in the camp, with time spent weighing and labelling. They neatly parked the cars in the Parc Fermé. And even the most hardened and seasoned Dakar competitors couldn't quite believe what was taking place.
Je pense que les gens ont fait un truc incroyable.
The Antonovs flew around the clock with 2 flight crews relaying each of the 3 planes. Competitors and support staff were flown on a chartered Boeing 737. And then the encampment was rebuilt little by little in Sabah in Libya, 2,000 kilometers to the east. It was a lot colder than in Niamey, and the first thing one looked for when digging through one's affairs was a warm coat before joining everyone else around the fire. The race was now more in the background for the competitors, and it was much more a case of friends sharing a quite unique experience. The Dakar slowed to a pace that had never been seen before. For the first time in Dakar history, the raiders had to wait and take the time to do the things they never normally had the opportunity to experience. At times, the encampment looked much more like a camping ground. And this sort of monotony that came over the Dakar for 5 days was perhaps the greatest success for the organisers. They turned the airlift into a routine event with exceptional efficiency. In 2000, the 22nd Dakar was transformed into 2 one-week races, Jean-Louis Schlesser was victorious in the car category, while Richard Sainz took top honours in the motorcycle class for the second consecutive year. 2001, the Big Bluff. January 20th, 2001, the penultimate stage of the Dakar. Jose Maria Sevilla and second overall in the standings Jean-Louis Schlesser decided to play with the regulations. They lined up ahead of their scheduled start time, and the two buggies took off ahead of rally leader Matsuoka in the Mitsubishi. The move is a relatively common practice in a traditional rally competition, but does go against the grain of the spirit of Rally Raid. Schlesser played his final card. He was given a slight time penalty. Matsuoka and co-driver Pascal Maimon were not at all pleased. And the displeasure soon turned to rage when they saw that Sevilla was acting as a screen for Schlesser, who sped off on the open track, holding nothing back, taking every possible risk. Matsuoka overtook Sevilla, but just ahead, he drove off the track and into a hole, damaging the Pajero. Pascal Maimon was beside himself. Matsuoka and Maimon lost the Dakar right here. The steering column ball joint was broken. Schlesser had got the better of them in this war of nerves. Jean-Pierre Fontenay stopped to help, but for all intents and purposes, their rally was over.
Polo! Attends, je crois pas, j'allume, je suis dans un cauchemar. On est vraiment des gamins. On est vraiment des gamins par rapport.
Matsuoka and Maimon lost some 50 minutes making the repairs. Jean-Louis Schlesser, meanwhile, drove on towards Dakar. For the moment, he was the winner of the rally. His ingenuity, his bluff, had worked to perfection. But it was to be short-lived. He was called in front of the race officials. Schlesser never stopped finessing the nuances of the regulations throughout the entire event. He was given a 1-hour penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour. And the next day, the penalties worked in favour of Jutta Kleinschmidt. Third the day before, she became the first woman to win the Paris-Dakar rally.
Navigation skills are key to winning in 2008, as speed limits have been imposed on motorcyclists and all drivers when passing through villages. Peter Hansel of Team Mitsubishi won the 2007 Dakar Rally in the cars category without winning a single individual stage. Only 40% of all the entries will make it to the finish line in Dakar. Only on Supersport, proudly brought to you